bubble where we do a little bit of adulting, a little bit of healing, and a little bit of creating. This is, takes a sip because per usual, the light is going to blow me, but I wear glasses for a reason, so I'm gonna have them on. You see my tissues back here? I've been a little emotional the last couple days, you know? Full moon in Virgo. Fresh out the red zone, you know? There's a lot. There's just, I'm human. Like, haven't been emotional in quite some time. It was time for a release anyway. Anyway, today we are drinking some wine. Cheers if you're over 21. If you're under 21, hydrate. I mean, even if you're over 21, hydrate anyway. Hydration is key. Today, we're doing another spiritual studies, you know, because as I continue down the journey that is healing, as I am delving more into spirituality and my personal intuition and all those kinds of things, right? We're gonna learn together. I don't remember how many spiritual studies I've done. I think I've only done one, maybe two. I don't know. I think one. Either way, but I have mentioned that I think I'm a shaman. So, by the title, you can tell today we're gonna do a little bit of research, or I've done the research. We're gonna talk about what a shaman is and like what shamanism means and like all those kinds of things, you know? We're gonna get right into it only because I don't want to have to edit for 15,000 years. So, get your wine, spark your blunt, whatever you're into. Let's get into it. So, from the very beginning, number one, shamanism is a religion based on said shaman, the person, right? And a shaman is a person believed to achieve what? Yes, a person believed to achieve various powers through trance or ecstatic religious experience. Let that linger. A shaman is thought to have the ability to heal the sick, to communicate with the other world, the cosmos, you know, and often to escort the souls of the dead to that other world. Very interesting. Right? I don't want to butcher this, but like, I'm going to butcher it because I don't know how to actually pronounce it. Shamanism stems from Manchu Tungus. It's an Celtic language. Shamanism stems from Manchu Tungus, an Celtic language word Saman. I don't know if that's how you say it either. Sa means to know, thus a shaman is literally one who knows. Period. Right? So, historic ethnographies, well, shamans in historic ethnographies have included women, men, and trans people of every age from middle childhood forward. First of all, I thought that was mad interesting that like there are trans people in historic ethnographies, and like, so why is it a big deal that there are trans people now? But that's a whole other conversation for another day. From middle childhood forward, I was like, yeah, that sounds about right. Like, me and the spirits been connected. At first, I thought I was a medium, like back in the day, because the way I would literally see spirits walk past me, freaking ridiculous. Like, actually insane. one, it's never mind, right? Like I got so used to it, I was like, "What's up, partner?" Like, right? Middle childhood forward, very accurate. Check. Shamanism is generally used to describe indigenous groups where a healer, religious leader, or counselor is like combined. You're all that in one, you know? You wear many hats, right? It's generally agreed that shamanism originated in the hunter-gathering culture, you know? Which isn't that kind of where everything stems from, you know? If it's not folklore, but you know, things are passed down through the ages. Where did it start? At the beginning, duh. Hunter-gatherers, duh. Normally, it's in conjunction with animism, a belief system in which the world is home to a plethora of spirit beings that may help or hinder human endeavors. You walk around with evil energy, it's gonna come back to you. That's just karma, that's just cycles, that's just, you can't just walk around spewing evil and expect good things to happen to you. That's just not how life works. There are different opinions on whether shamanism should be the term used for all religious systems where a main person uses their connection to quote unquote the transcendent world. I like that phrase. Between me and you, I like that phrase, transcendent world. I'm gonna use that and cosmos is like my favorite, like, because me personally, I use goddess, universe, spirit all as one, like interchangeably. But like cosmos, the cosmos is all of it. It's how the planets move, it's the energy that comes with the planets moving, it's higher selves, it's your connection, the higher self's connection to the cosmos, the higher self that sits in the cosmos. It's just, you know, the cosmos, everything. We're in the cosmos. Earth is a planet moving around in the cosmos, like, you know, the cosmos. But transcendent world, I like that phrase too. I would use that how most people use universe, you know? Transcendent world. I like that. Anyway, there are different opinions on whether shamanism should be the word used for all religious systems where a main person uses their connection with the transcendent world to act as a healer. And I used to have a really rigid definition of like healer, but not so much anymore for many reasons. Another story for another day as well. Now, North Asiatic, come on now. North Asiatic shamanism of the 19th century is generally accepted as the classic form of shamanism, right? So, in North Asiatic shamanism, here are some like aspects of it, characteristics of it. I don't know, whatever word you want to use, right? Society accepts that there are specialists who connect with the transcendent world and therefore possess the ability to heal, right? Shamanism is known to have certain mental characteristics, be it you're intuitive, you're sensitive, you have an eccentric personality, which apparently may be accompanied by a physical defect, like lameness, an extra finger or toe, or a more than normal amount of teeth. Interesting, right? The more you know. 3. In North Asiatic shamanism, the shaman is assisted by an active spirit being. They may also have a passive guardian spirit present in the form of an animal or person of another sex, possibly your sexual partner. I thought it was interesting that it could also be a person rather than just like a familiar of some kind, right? Because my familiar, is it the familiar? Yeah, my familiar is a black cat. Really cats in general, because again, if you've watched, I forget which smoke session, but just I was talking about how the cats, the stray cats around my house are always, they just always seem to gravitate towards me in general, but also like when I'll be outside smoking, they just always somehow end up right in front of the car, sitting there looking at me like, babe, go away. Like, no, not like that, but you know, like, mind your business. But like a person, I never, the human experience is just too intricate and there's just too many other things going on. I wouldn't think that a person would be my spiritual being assistant, quote unquote. The abilities and social role of the shaman believed to result from a choice made by one or more spiritual beings. The chosen one, often adolescent, may resist their like gifts and their abilities and all kind of things. Also check off, check for me, right? I did before when I was adolescent, right? Um, but torture. This is exactly what I read said, right? But torture by the spirits, meaning physical or mental illness, breaks that resistance, and then you like tap into your intuition and all those kinds of things. Now, in my, I think it was Let's Talk About Life, I mentioned my spiritual journey starting for a bunch of different reasons, but like it really starting basically like in conjunction with my depression and like the way life was moving at a certain point in time, right? They said it, not me. Um, 5, I think. Anyway, another aspect. The initiation, depending on which belief system you look at, right? The initiation of a shaman may happen on a transcendent level or on a realistic level. Sometimes both. While in the trance state, I guess what like most of us in the US would just consider like deep meditation, but like if you're in the world, you know, trance, right? While in the trance state, the spirits on the yonder world cut the candidate's body, candidate like the shaman candidate, right? Because not everybody's just accepted into shamanism, right? Like, right. The spirits on the yonder world cut the candidate's body into pieces to search for an excess amount of bones. I ain't never had nothing like that happen, but again, this is North Asiatic um characteristics of shamanism, right? But I thought that was interesting, like initiation, and you're cutting me up to see if I have extra bones. Hmm. And then when you awaken from the trance, then you complete a symbolic initiation, i.e., climbing the world tree. Hmm. Right? Another characteristic, entering the trance state at will, the shaman possesses the ability to communicate with the spirits, allowing the soul to leave the body and enter the spirit realm, excuse me, or being a mouthpiece for um, spiritual beings, like in the way that a medium would. Like I said, and this was not, I forgot that that was in here. Like I literally used to think that I was a medium back in the day. I used to watch medium shows and I used to think that was so cool. Like literally talking to spirits and like helping people heal in that way, because people are not going to believe you until you like tell them some shit that you really shouldn't know, unless the person is literally talking to you and you like watch them draw stuff or hear stuff. And I just thought that was so cool, so I was like, and then I started seeing spirits and stuff and I was like, I'm a medium. Crazy. I ain't never been a mouthpiece for a spirit, but I was like, check. Another distinguishing trait of shamanism is the combat of two shamans in the form of animals, often reindeer or cattle. It has no purpose, but is a deed the shaman is compelled to do. The outcome means well-being for the victor and destruction for the loser. Excuse me, I thought that was interesting. I would look more into that, just like if I was to do a part 2 spiritual studies or a deeper spiritual studies on shamanism. That's definitely an aspect that I would look more into, because that's interesting. Another characteristic, while in trance as well as in the mystical combat and the healing ceremonies, right, the shaman uses objects, potentially, such as a drum, drumstick, headgear, a gown, a metal rattler, a mirror, or a staff. The materials or the shapes of the instruments identify the type or species of shamanism and follow their development. That's not new. Like, you know how in movies you always see like the Indian tribe leaders banging on drums and they're like in this tent and they're like blowing smoke and all these kinds of things, That's what it made me think of. So I was like, that's pretty regular. Last characteristic that was on this list, at least. Characteristic folklore and shaman songs come into being as improvisations on traditional formulas used to lure or imitate animals. Isn't that interesting? Also, there's always some aspect of anything mystical that involves like luring animals or luring something in. Weird to me, but whatever. Anyway, moral of the story. Some of these characteristics or like similar traits slash characteristics may also be found in traditional cultures everywhere in the world, right? But not but. So these traits do not automatically equate to shamanism, because the central personalities like the sorcerers or the medicine men or the healers may have attained their position as sorcerers, medicine men, healers by deliberate study or application of rational knowledge, versus a shaman who's just gifted with the abilities from birth. Like these sorcerers, medicine men, healers, they perform ceremonies, they hold positions of authority, and possess magical abilities. The structure or quality of their transcendental activities are entirely different from that of the shaman. So, just because their traditions are similar does not automatically make them shamans. But yeah, that's the little bit I've learned so far on shamans, shamanism, all those kinds of things. Based on what I have learned, I still think I fit the qualities definition of a shaman. I do. Because there's just a certain like connection slash familiarity with like the Native American flute music, and like, because a lot of, I do listen to just general like love frequencies and like universal trust the universe type frequencies, but like the rain sounds in Native American music, or like the shaman music with the wolf howls, just ooh, they something about it just feels familiar and just feels like comfortable, aside from the fact that, like, apparently, I'm pretty sure I was told part Native American once, but like nobody could tell me what tribe we were from, so I was like, everybody's gonna jack that they're Native American, but if you can't tell me what tribe, then I don't believe you. But also at the same time, like, I've recently been, the videos I've been watching, people have been mentioning like they feel like most black people in the US are really like stem from Native American as opposed to like African, you know? Like, and I thought that made a lot of sense. Either way, I still think I'm a shaman. I shall move as such. I will practice as such. And let's, oh, my incense went out. I'm gonna relight my incense and let's pull one card for the collective for this Virgo full moon. Let's just, you know, let's see what we need, you know. I was gonna do tarot, but since we're talking full moon, let's pull out the Moonology Oracle deck, right? Connecting with Spirit. What is something we need to know for this full moon in Virgo? What is something that we need to hear for this upcoming full moon in Virgo? Give us a message for the collective. What is the collective message? What is advice? That one I think is the one. Full moon in Gemini. The answers you need are coming. Back of the deck, T. Your commitment to being tested. This, very much true for me. Everyone's answers are going to be different depending on what you're dealing with right now, what you may have asked about, any of those things, right? Let's pull it up. Let's pull it up. Full moon in Gemini. This card is a reminder to speak your truth, but remember that your words have consequences and impact your listener. Right now, you need to guard against indiscretion. The answers you need may well come soon. The answers you need may well come soon. The issue you're facing could well be one or a few conversations away from being resolved. If you're inquiring, I think that's spelled wrong. If you're inquiring about a love situation, a little flirting may be called for. Full moon in Gemini, hello. A little flirting may be called for. Get flirty. If you're in the middle of an argument, this card comes to you as a reminder of the old, very non-Gemini message. Least said, soonest mended. I'll say that one more time. Least said, soonest mended. It's good to talk, but be careful you aren't causing yourself any issues with your words. Words have enormous power, as metaphysician Forrest Scovel Shin put it. Your word is your wand. You create magic in your own reality every time you express yourself. Attune to the moon. Have an important conversation, but stay calm. You know, Gemini, very throat chakra, very good with words, you know? This is a conversation you need to have. Have it. Make sure, have it in a, like, from a clear headspace though. Don't have the conversation in an emotional way. Figure out how you feel, address how you feel, understand why you feel that way, and be able to communicate that effectively. Other meanings for the card? Don't be superficial. Someone is trying to flirt with you. Have you noticed? Flirt back. Have some fun. You need to laugh the situation off and just move on. Just, right? Release. Wusa. Bless. Job applications have good prospects. Period. The answers you need are coming. You heard it here first. Maybe not first, but you know. Very much your commitment is being tested. I'm not going to read that whole one just because I feel like that's a message in and of itself, but we can read the additional meanings of the card. Oh. There are 8 moon phases and each has its own keywords. First quarter moon, challenges, confidence, commitment. Let's go, let's go, let's go. We can be done with this. No shade. I have other things to do. Oh, excuse me. Your commitment is being tested. The answer to your question, if you asked the question while I was shuffling? If you asked the question while I was shuffling, the answer to your question is yes, but not yet. Patience. Patience, my good friend. Patience, lovely. Trust the timing of your life. At me. You're halfway to your goal. Also at me. You still need to put in a bit more effort. Sometimes we just need to realize how much we want something, and you need to recommit to someone or something. Attuned to the moon. I am committed to my dreams and move towards them with confidence. Your commitment is being tested. Mine is too, babe. Don't worry. I understand. I'm gonna include this thing that I saw, or this picture that I saw. Yeah. Any of my fellow spiritual folk just feel super comforted / comfortable when you're shuffling. So I don't even be looking for messages sometimes, but I will sit and just shuffle just because I feel at peace when I do. Like I feel comforted when I do. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, I'm gonna insert the picture of full moon versus new moon. And I've decided to make a conscious effort to follow the phases of the moon and see how life unfolds from there. But that's it. That's all. If you've made it to the end of the video and you don't know me, hi. My name is Naori. Stick around. You love it here. Duh. Embrace being a star. Subscribe. Follow my socials. Bing, bang, boom. I don't know what that was, but and that's really it. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy the full moon in Virgo. Release any emotions that come up, because you know full moon is very like supercharged emotion. I felt it these last couple, like within the last week. The people around me have felt it this last week or so. I've noticed. So just relax, take time for yourself, bless, breathe out, woosah, and just, it's okay. Just everything will be okay. Trust the timing of your life. Embrace change. That's it. I'll say bye. I'd rather